Hey guys, what's going on? We are at SHOT Show 2025, and one of the interesting companies that I wanted to stop by, thanks to John Patton on this one, because he turned us on to this, and our buddy Roy. From a company, 1791, they do a lot of leather products for holsters and stuff like that, but they've now come out with these really cool handguards and a whole bunch of other products as well in
Magnite.
Magnite.
Yeah.
I always mess it up. That's why I got Justin here. I really do appreciate it.
Yeah.
Tell us about this. What is going on with this? How is this going to change the AR game, in your opinion?
Right on. So first and foremost, one of the ways that you can learn more about this, because it's hard for you as the viewer to appreciate how light this is by looking at a video. So if you jump on our website, 1791industries.org/home, when you look at the product display pages, one thing that I did to kind of get the point across is I provide the raw weight of how heavy this is.
Yeah.
And then I say the weight of a stick of chewing gum, or the weight of a medium-sized egg, because I wanted to find a different way to get this across.
Sure, yeah.
So the main thing behind this is, how do we crack the nut of having a lighter weight service rifle or a lighter weight fighting rifle that is not compromised by strength and structural integrity?
That's a good point.
Because up until this point, there's a bunch of crazy lightning cuts and excessive uses of polymers and carbon fibers and things like that. And what we end up having is just an ultralight sporting rifle or fun rifle. So back during World War II, what was the main service rifle?
M1 Garand.
The M1 Garand, the Legend, right? That sucker weighed about 9 pounds, fired a full battle rifle cartridge, 30-06, right?
Yep.
And then come Vietnam, we got the M16, right? The M16 weighed about 7 pounds, had a 20-inch barrel. And then come the 80s and 90s, heat, we have the Kar 15,
Exactly.
right?
Yep.
So that's where we started getting lighter and lighter and lighter. We exchanged a smaller cartridge from 30-06 to basically 5.56, but basically a 22, right?
Right.
But it was a lot lighter. People really liked how lightweight the M16 and the Kar 15 was. And then comes the global war on terror. And you were a service member?
Oh, yes, sir.
So then to improve soldier lethality, we're adding lights and lasers and optics. And I don't know about you, but my service rifle weighed 8.5 pounds. I carried a Mark 18 Mod 0, and that thing was heavy for being just a little short
tiny
thing,
guy,
right? So what we're able to do with this material, it's not about just having the lightest thing, it's about having a lightweight fighting rifle. Let me grab something. So what I did was I rebuilt my Mark 18. So 10.5-inch barrel. I have an aim point. I have irons because my Mark 18 had irons. I have a flashlight, and I have an angled forward grip. This is our angled forward grip. This thing weighs 6 pounds.
Yep. I can tell the difference. To be frankly honest with you, my fun rifle is an AK. And but I'm very familiar with the AR.
We
an
AK handguard.
Yes, you do. You got it right here. This is something that I'm excited to see as well as an AK connoisseur, I guess.
So this is the beginnings of the AK side.
Yep.
Within the product roadmap for this year, I'm doing a free-floated AK handguard. I'm going to do a skeletonized AK stock.
Okay.
So the more ounces we can shave off the AK, which that thing starts off at 9 pounds, 8 or 9 pounds, that's a really meaningful thing there too.
Yep.
So
and I can already tell that this feels different as well. I can tell, again, I usually shoot AKs more than ARs, but I have a BCM. We have a BCM handguard to show the comparison in the weight.
Yeah.
I've got a BCM with a D-Ball D2 on it, and EOTech, and that thing's pretty heavy.
Before we start weighing stuff, I'll talk about the metal itself. So the metal is patented. The way we produce it is patented. Essentially, it's called Magnite, and what it is, it's a magnesium alloy that is made at the nanoparticle level. So we start off with sintered, powdered metal, or powdered magnesium, and we add other components to it to create an alloy. Now, the first thing that when I first discovered this, the first thing I had questions of okay, what's the ignition point? Because I'm a Navy guy, member of the USS Forrestal, Class Delta Fire. This stuff will actually melt and deform at high temperatures before it will start on fire. I've done destructive testing where I've done complete uppers and I've shot them until they fired on machine gun rates of fire. And in every single instance, the rifle failed exactly like it's designed to fail. Either the gas block blew, or in some cases the barrel itself blew.
Right.
But in no instance did our parts fail. Our Magnite barrel nut, our Magnite handguards, our Magnite upper receivers. And that was really important to me because, again, like, I'm not designing sporting rifle stuff. The intention here is designing fighting rifle capable systems.
Yeah,
so.
Absolutely. And it's really interesting because you guys have your barrel nut that's extremely light. You're going to have a hand stop.
Yep.
You got
our charging handle.
Charging handle, and then rings as well.
Yep,
so it's really cool to see that you're offering more than just a handguard to complete out an AR as people want to do that. So
to make the entire system lighter, the important thing is stacking tolerances. So I'll go through and I'll do some comparisons. So steel barrel nut, 1.6 ounces. Our Magnite barrel nut that is timed, 0.8 ounces. So this is designed to work in a proprietary nature with our handguard. So essentially you screw your barrel nut on, and when you have this locked into your vise block, this is called a class 1 slip fit. You really have to push this sucker on there. And then what you're going to do is you're going to torque your barrel nut to 30 foot-pounds of energy, and then you're going to recheck your alignment for your locking screws that line up with these timing holes.
All right, on.
And if you need to move it a little bit more, you're going to move up 5 foot-pounds of energy and torque it in, and then you're going to recheck your fit. Once you have alignment through your holes, you're just going to put your screws through the holes, lock it down at about 40 inch-pounds with some Loctite. Bob's your uncle. So.
Right on.
So going from there, this is an ultralight Night Force ring. Comes in at 1.5 ounces. Our Magnite ring, 1.1 ounces. So this is probably the lightest ring on the market until now.
Yep.
So polymers. So this is a Magpul polymer hand stop, 0.4 ounces. Our Magnite hand stop, 0.2 ounces.
Yep.
So again, one thing I did on the website to like kind of be fun is I provide the raw weight, like 0.2 ounces, and then I say in parentheses the same weight as a sheet of computer paper.
Yeah.
And that's what this is. This weighs the same as a sheet of computer paper.
Yep.
Charging handle, 1.4-ish ounces. Ours, 0.9 ounces. I have them memorized.
Oh, there you go.
Some of them memorized.
Yeah, tilting back and forth there. And then you've got BCM. I'm a big fan of BCM.
So am I.
You know?
My go-to fighting rifle for years has been a BCM. So 10-ish ounces.
Yep, so you guys can see that this is, in fact, a BCM handguard. And then throw that on there and boom.
So we do full-length top rails, and then we do a cut top rail like this. Our full-length top rail, which my sample of that is at the supplier showcase.
Sure.
So that one's just like a couple tenths of a pound heavier.
Okay, so you're not actually adding an additional ounce. It's
no.
Fractions of an ounce.
Yeah, fractions of an ounce heavier.
And I think that's extremely important. Like you said, you know, we're both veterans. We've been in a situation where we're lugged down with body armor, ammo, rifles, everything else. And we also know the adage, ounces leads to pounds, pounds leads to pain.
Yep.
And this is going to scale a lot of that back. And it's extremely interesting that 1791 is the guys who are doing it. I think that is really, really super cool. I really do love your leather products, your holsters and stuff like that, especially for like my revolvers.
Well, 1791 brought me into grow. So I come from the tactical industry. So I actually have a bunch of tactical nylon stuff. I actually have a prototype of one I can show you.
Cool.
So our TTD, as it's called, is not out yet, but that's why one of my display guns is a folding 300 Blackout. I wanted a way to be able to carry a rifle and transport a rifle in a low visibility manner. So I really designed this thing to look like a JanSport bag. You know what I mean? So it's designed to go up and over your shoulder. And if you have a fight that is immediately in your face that you need to deconflict, my recommendation is go to your carry gun, because that's going to be faster.
Yep.
But if the moment actually arises where you need something that is truly much more capable than a handgun, for instance, if there is like some sort of like terrorist active shooter type situation, what you can do is you can grab the back of this and pull it underneath, unzip, and deploy an actual rifle. Now, this isn't designed to just be a transport device, even though it says technical transport device.
Yep.
I designed this to be able to fight from it. So what you can do is you can grab this little lanyard, and out comes a rapid deploy cummerbund with your reload. And if there is an injury that you need to treat, there is a rapid deploy hidden IFAK through the bottom.
Nice. Very nice.
So this will be available come about April timeframe. It's going to come in a couple of different colorways. This one's going to be basically gray and black.
Okay.
So the reason for that is like, I don't want to do coyote tan or ranger green because it draws too much attention.
Yeah,
so, But yeah, this will be called the TTD.
Okay. So we'll go ahead and wrap this up real quick. Real quick on the handguards and other accessories. When do we expect to see that on the market?
These guys will be out in March. So we're starting off with charging handles, scope rings, rail sections, upper receivers, lower receivers. Okay. And then the AK handguard, and then the little M-lock hand stop. Okay. We have a much larger product line lined up for all throughout 2025, where I'm continuing to develop and launch products throughout 25.
MSRP, what should we expect on some of these products, especially the handguard?
These are going to be comparable with like your upper echelon of other accessory makers out there that you might be familiar with. For instance, like our handguards range from like 2 1/4-ish up to like for instance the 15-inch length is going to be a little bit more expensive. I believe that's like about $250-ish.
Okay. So we're saying probably just a little bit under maybe what Geisley is. Right. So and I think that what you guys are producing is, I would say, maybe on their level. So it's not necessarily unattainium for a lot of people.
And I wanted that because like, yes, I'm developing this stuff with the intention to get it in the hands of professional users, but I also develop this stuff with the intention of getting it in the hands of like the modern patriot, the modern armed citizen. That's all of the stuff I'm developing right now is really kind of centered around like, what does the modern version of Captain John Parker need? Are you familiar with Captain John Parker?
Yes, sir.
If they need to have a war, let it begin here. Right?
Exactly. Right. So, and then for your backpack, what are we looking at as far as availability and MSRP?
This guy, we're still working out the pricing. It's probably going to be in that $250 range, just because there's so much that goes into manufacturing it. It's actually designed to carry armor panel as well. So I actually have a 3A panel in this one. This guy's going to be more like April when this comes out. So this is very much a sneak preview for your guys here.
So still pretty much late first quarter, maybe early second quarter. But definitely this year. And I would say that your pricing's pretty reasonable. And so that's good to hear too. I really do appreciate your time. Thank you so much. There you guys have it, freaking 1791 Leatherworks of all people. That is so crazy to see these types of products coming from them, and I'm excited for it. So we're going to get some samples. We'll get it onto the channel and do some testing. We'll catch you guys next time. Thanks, guys.